everyone. So actually I have already tried to start this video a good 3 times. At some point I lost my patience and I was like, maybe the universe doesn't want me to do this. But here we are. So I had already pulled cards for you and they're right here, but I'm gonna first go through go for the crystals that I had already picked out for you. And let me start with this carnelian. Now carnelian is a crystal for self-esteem. It's for energy. I did realize that you have a lot of water and earth in your chart, so earth and water signs can tend to shy away unless you have something else to balance it, like maybe heavy air or heavy fire. So I felt like maybe you were having issues with your self-esteem or trusting yourself, and this is why this crystal is kind of calling out to you. I also have here blue lace. Now blue lace is the throat healer. It's kind of for clear communication and for expressing your thoughts and your feelings. So if you're having trouble with that, I would highly recommend this one. I also have black tourmaline here. Now black tourmaline is a crystal that kind of sucks up all the negative energy, as well as a protection, like a psychic protection crystal. And as a water sign, I feel like we can be highly intuitive and we can kind of keep all that energy on us. I see that you're a sun in Cap and moon in Pisces, which that moon in Pisces will kind of open you up to like a more intuitive state, or just be like being more intuitive. And then I saw that your Venus is in Scorpio, which is really interesting because I noticed that a lot of people with Venus and Scorpios, they either go through a traumatic past life that causes them to be very overprotective in the current lifetime. I always say that Venus and Scorpios are like pit bulls, like Venus and Scorpios and Venus and Aries. I have a Venus and Aries. We kind of defend people like through hand and foot and claw. We're very loving and we're nurturing, but when it comes to you touching what's mine, your arm will get cut off. So we're very overprotective over the people that we love and the people that we cherish. But with Venus and Scorpio, it's also there's not enough love. It always feels like maybe you grew up in a household where love wasn't as present or love wasn't as strong, and so you kind of any love that you do get, you hoard, you protect, and that's that Venus and Scorpio. I have here, which is a kyanite crystal. Now kyanite is really great when it comes to past life recall. It kind of just helps you put together like the bits and pieces, and it kind of just helps me recollect the past life a lot easier. I feel like if you use this to go to sleep, you kind of get the dreams, but it starts off very slow. It's also great for meditating, and it's also a great crystal for the throat chakra and just for receiving like clear communication with your guides or with angelic presences. So kyanite, great guy. All right, so what I tell people is that when I go through the past lives, it's very similar to Avatar: The Last Airbender, when Aang channels specific lifetimes for specific situations. The whole idea of this is that you have already gone through a similar situation in your past life, whether it be more diluted or more amplified. It depends on how the situation went. So let's say you had a falling out with your father that was a friend in a past life, and now he wasn't your father during this lifetime, and he kind of reincarnated as your father during this lifetime, so that you can kind of, how do I say, you can better the relationship. He became an immediate part of your soul group so that you can better your current relationship with him. The deck that I'm using today is the Past Life Oracle deck. They don't make this deck anymore. This deck is actually ancient. It's been around for a while, and I got it a while back. I don't think they make it, or I really don't think they make it anymore. But if you're interested in learning more about past lives or getting deep into it, Brian Weiss is an amazing author. That's how I started my past life journey, and he's kind of like the godfather of past life regression therapy. So if you're more interested, I definitely recommend his books, Many Lives, Many Masters being the first one. But he has a ton of other great books that I also love to read and stuff. But that's a separate conversation for another day. Let me go on. So when I had already picked your cards, I have trees, I have vows, I have orphan, I have Native American, I have mother, and I have ships. Now for this, it says Native American, but I don't feel like it's an American Native American for you. I feel like I'm getting like that Pocahontas vibe type thing. Like I'm feeling like maybe this is kind of in India. So if you're like very attracted to that culture, or like that's a place that you might want to visit someday, this is where I'm getting this lifetime. It feels like this village, it feels like a little village. It's up in the mountaintops. But it's like when you descend, there's an ocean. So it kind of like, it kind of feels like this is either like border of India, but there's definitely water here present. And it's, well, that's really strange because you do have earth and water placements. See? Okay, so what I'm feeling is like you were very young during this time. I don't feel like you got to be a teen during this lifetime. This lifetime feels very much like you were taken away really early and you didn't really get a chance to experience life. It feels like life was very I don't know if you're attracted to earth magic or herbals, or more like plant work, or just highly attracted to nature and being around nature, and that's kind of a place for comfort for you. Because I feel like this land was definitely it was definitely in the woods. It definitely felt like nature was your comfort zone. It very much feels like this village was invaded. In India, it feels like this was Spaniard invasion. I've had a couple clients already that have had like a similar experience, but this village is more closer to the ocean. It feels like your relationship with your mother might be strained right now, or you might have a fear of losing your mom very early in life. You could have suffered from like codependency with your mom because you were just very afraid of losing her, because during this lifetime you lost her at a very young age. This is when you get an orphan. And the relationship with your mother. So I feel like right now you guys are either in the building stages of a solid relationship, and that's what you're incarnating immediately. It feels like when these people came, they came with good intentions. It feels like these Spaniards kind of came in with good intentions, trying to help out the village, and they spread yellow fever. I'm getting that you were either a couple months, I don't know if the number 9 is like important to you, or if that's a life path for you, or if it's just telling me that it was the end of a cycle and that you might be in the end of a cycle right now. But you were 9 months when your mom passed from this fever, and you were kind of taken abroad on this ship. The ship is very indicative of you being taken abroad to a foreign land. I feel like the vow that you made is either a vow of chastity or a vow of poverty. Now, vows of chastity, or a vow that you probably made that any person that you would encounter that was close to you, you would try to protect hand and foot, and that would kind of hand, foot, nail. That would kind of be indicative of the Venus and Scorpio. But there is a vow here made, and it feels like maybe it's a vow of protection. Maybe it's a vow of keeping people close and trying to not let them leave your side. I feel like there's a fear here as well. I feel like these Spaniard influences here kind of took you in as their own, but you always felt out of place. It very much feels like when you arrived to they're like there's two people here. They might not be your parents. They don't feel like your parents. Sorry, when I get in a roadblock, it's always time for tarot. There's two people here that took you in, and you might not have a good relationship with them, or your relationship might be a little off with them. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of cups here. So I have 10 of Swords, Ace of Cups, 10 of Cups, and King of Cups. So I'm feeling like whoever took you in will be a water sign right now. This could be a relationship with your dad. There is a woman that's particularly nurturing here. This could be your grandma, though she is not your immediate grandma during this lifetime. There's a woman here that's particularly nurturing that took you in, but you were kind of separated away from her as well, and you were taken in by a male and a female figure. These two people will either be close friends of yours that you will have a falling out with, or they will one of them will be a karmic relationship for you, but definitely both of these people are karmic. They're going to be a male and a female. Might be heavy water. But I feel like there was a fear of just letting people in. I definitely feel that from the whole situation here. There's a fear of letting people in and a fear of them leaving you, or you getting close to anybody because you feel like they're going to leave you. They could give no signs, no sort of indication that they're going to leave you, but you have an unconscious fear that they will. I feel like this is like a you have to love yourself more type situation because of the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Cups, and kind of realize where this is coming from, that this is deeper than maybe what's going on in your life, and deeper than what's going on in your psyche. I do tell people that when I do past life readings, you might sometimes kind of spontaneously regress. I don't know if you are particularly afraid of water or being in large bodies of water, but you do make it to the Spanish colony. But I do feel like when you were in water, this was something that was new to you, to be in around such a large body of water, that you could be afraid of it now, or you could be very drawn to it. I feel like sometimes this goes both ways, but I feel like the lesson here is telling you that you need to make sure that you get down to the root of these issues, that this is like a completion stage for you. It's a completion stage for you to kind of be able to let people in and be able to have those intimate relationships that you desire without fearing that anybody is going to leave you, or without fear that you will be abandoned. And I feel like this is very indicative of this lifetime. You start living in, this feels like the capital of Spain. I don't know what the capital is, but I'm being shown the capital. I gotta brush up on my geology. Excuse me. This feels like the capital of Spain, but it feels like they bring you in at the time of yellow fever. I don't know if you're specifically very like germophobic, but you were like 15. I don't know if you went through a very like germophobic OCD phase when you were younger, but it definitely feels like when they bring you in, yellow fever was running rampage. They were kind of already carrying the disease when they came to this village, and it kind of wiped off a lot of the village. But when you came in, it was kind of the start. And then I feel like you were afflicted by this. And I feel like you were 15, 16 when you died. And when you were afflicted by this, you kind of blamed the two people that kind of brought you here. You kind of at that point already had a recollection that you did not belong with them. And even though you were so young when they did bring you in, and it feels like you blamed them. You died blaming these people, and you died with a lot of resentment towards them, that maybe if you had stayed and they had not come into this village, that you could have had a better life or a better understanding. Because I feel like in this lifetime you felt very unfulfilled. You always knew that this wasn't where you belonged, even from a very, very young age. I'm getting something significant for you in the ages of 7 and 9, and I don't know if it could be that you were speaking about something related to this, or that you were having recalls in dreams, but of being on a ship. But I'm getting something indicative of you when you were 7 or 9 years old, within that time span. I want to see what like the overall life lesson was for this lifetime. Feels like this lifetime was revolving issues relating to structure and power, as well as change and the need for change. I feel like you might have an issue with structure or higher ups because of this unconscious fear, and you might have a hard time also allowing in change. Those heavy earth sign placements kind of tell me like you can be stubborn in certain things, especially being a Cap, but you need to kind of connect with that water fluidity for you to be allowing you to change drastically. I feel like if you were more open to change during this lifetime, you wouldn't have died with so much resentment. And then balance, kind of balancing your material and your, but I feel like this isn't a material balance. I feel like this is more a spiritual and like a physical balance for you, because you were so young that you did not understand that concept just yet. So are kind of like coming to terms with your family and coming to terms with where you are in life is a definite a definite lesson for you here. I'm gonna pull some oracle cards. I'm gonna pull some oracle cards as well as I have something else for you in the works. I feel like for you, Sacred Destiny. I haven't pulled Sacred Destiny yet, but I feel like Sacred Destiny would be great for you. Let's see. What is the message for Evian? What is the message for what is it just kind of doesn't want to talk sometimes. Freedom. Oof, protection and miracles. So I'm feeling like the message for you is actually let me, before I start talking, I'm gonna also pull from the mermaid just because of the whole water situation. I promise you there's like a hoarding of decks over here, and sometimes that comes in handy and sometimes oof, dang. Okay, worthiness. Wow, man, what did we just talk about? It's soulmate relationship. So wow, and it fell right under miracles. I think you have to release yourself from the mental strains, the mental shackles, and that's what freedom is telling you to do. Freedom is very much telling you that you have the power to release yourself from that. And it says watch your thoughts. That goes hand in hand with freedom. It says it's important to think about what you want and not what you're afraid of. And I feel like a lot of what's going to hold you back is your own thoughts. It's that own imprisonment. And I feel like this is more relationship based for you. I feel like maybe you're afraid to let people in, you're afraid to lose people, you're afraid of the constraint of just kind of being intimate with others on a level that makes you feel vulnerable. It's worthiness. It's knowing that you deserve to receive good things. And that's, again, the self-esteem. Everything is kind of tying in together. I'm kind of scared. It's self-esteem. It's knowing that you are worthy of having nice things. You are worthy of having a decent relationship, of having good people around you. It's knowing that you're always protected at any time. Here it says miracles. So I feel like within the next maybe like 6 months, you can expect something great to happen. It says new relationship, new romance with a spiritual bias. So, and if you know the dolphins, when they mate for life. So I'm feeling like if you're not in a relationship right now, you will move into one that is very healthy for you, and that will kind of give you that understanding that you're looking for. But if you are in a current relationship, you can expect it to get deeper, expect you to kind of like bring down those walls, because I feel like with you, it's very much the fear, that vow that you made. I feel like you kind of have to meditate and kind of release this vow that not every relationship has to be painful. Not every relationship is going to end on a hard basis. And that's what this lifetime came to teach you as this young teenage girl. She's very much here. You might even dream of being her. Or she says that she's already presented herself to you. So I don't know if you've dreamt of being a teenage girl, or you have thought of, like, you get visions of a teenage girl. But she says that she's already presented herself to you. So there's that. Also, for my last message, I have something in the works. This is the Tantric Dankini Oracle. This is kind of to awaken something in your subconscious that will allow you to heal, to bring yourself more into yourself. See what I'm saying? I feel like everybody gets their messages in due time. Let's see. What message do we have for Evian? What message do we have for Evian? No, this one I'm really familiar with. but these two I'm not. So let me pull out my scripture. So amusement, it's kind of living in your sexual power. It's being comfortable in yourself and your sexuality, and knowing that you are perfect. You are divinely perfect. You were made perfect, and to enjoy that part of you, to recognize that part of you. Now, magic carpet. Let's see what magic carpet is. This is something that I'm currently working on and I'm currently studying. So please just excuse me. It says positive influence of the occult. It influences the psyche. Visualization, throat and head, a strong desire to be bound up to the physical world and the habitual matters. So it's kind of letting yourself explore the spiritual part of yourself without feeling constricted or controlled. It's letting magic be magic, just allowing yourself to be. It's taking that magic carpet ride, basically. It also has 4 guardians on each corner. I'm going to show you the picture again. I hope that it has 4 guardians in each corner, knowing that you are protected in all matters when it comes to your spirituality or learning new practices, that you are being guided to what best suits you. We have the cosmic carrot. These things are so interesting. The cosmic carrot. Liberation and enlightenment. Wow. It says open yourself up to the higher gods. Ganesh is here. What did I say about this? Like, I feel like everything's tying in together and I'm gonna have an epiphany real quick. But Ganesh is here, which is that Indian. This is kind of relating to your lifetime too, because it's like very Indian, very that lifetime. But Ganesh is here. Ganesh is a guardian protecting you. It says to nourish yourself, nourish your spirit. The carrot is related to the eyes, so this could be just being more comfortable with your intuition and opening that third eye. And I feel like this is all tying into you recognizing yourself, strengthening your self-esteem. But yeah, if you have any other questions, please reach out to me. You can reach out to me through Twitter or through email, but thank you so much for booking with me, and thank you so much for your patience. I hope to hear from you soon.